and welcome to the video. Today we are going to have a look at finding the mean from a frequency table. Okay. If we're given a frequency table, remember a frequency table is a way of presenting data in tabulated form. So rather than having a full list of raw data, which might become quite difficult to work with, we can tabulate the data. We can place it into a frequency table. This is what a very typical question would look like. This is example 1, and this frequency table, gives the number of nails in some bags. Find the mean number of nails per bag. So what this frequency table is telling us, there are 5 bags which contain 15 nails, 11 bags contain 16 nails, 5 bags, 17 nails, and 3 bags contained 18 nails. And we're asked to find what is the mean amount of nails in one bag. So in order to do that, and how you approach every question like this, is we go ahead and add a third column. Number of nails multiplied by frequency, so the total of our third column is number of nails times frequency. You might see this column called X times F, and that's just because you may have labeled the variable X and frequency F, so it means the exact same. So we're going to go ahead and work out the values to put in the third column by multiplying the number of nails by how many bags contained. So that's going to tell us, when we find the total, how many nails altogether in all of the bags. Okay, so 14 times 1 gives me 14 nails. 15 times 5 gives me 75 nails, and so on. So what this 54 is representing, it's telling me that there is 54 nails in these 3 bags. There is 85 nails in these 5 bags. Okay, but what we're interested in is finding the mean amount of nails. So in order to do that, we add up the frequencies, which tells us 25. This total of frequency represents how many bags of nails there were, how many bags of nails. Then we add up the third column, the number of nails times frequency column, to get 404. This value here tells me how many nails there is in total in these 25 bags. So then when we come to work out the mean, we take our 404 and we divide by the 25. We take the total number of nails altogether and divide by how many bags of nails there was. Total of column 3 divided by total of column 2 is going to give me the mean. At this point, you may need to round it, or your answer may be a decimal, or you could end up with an integer. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Again, a very typical question. This table gives the number of sweets in various boxes. Find the mean number of sweets per box. So you can see that in a box of sweets, there was either 28, 29, 30, or 31 sweets. There was 14 boxes which contained 31. There was 29 boxes which contained 29 sweets. Okay, if I add up all my frequencies to get a total here, I'll know how many boxes I'm dealing with altogether. We'll do that a little bit later on in the question. First step is I'm going to add my third column, X times F, or number of sweets times number of boxes. And then I'm going to fill in that third column by doing some multiplications. Excellent. So this 841, that tells me that there's 841 sweets in total in these 29 boxes. Okay. So now we need to find some totals. We're going to add up all the frequencies to give me 80. So in this question, there was 80 boxes of sweets altogether. Now I'm going to add up these totals to get the total number of sweets altogether. So there was 2,363 sweets contained in the 80 boxes. So in order to find the mean amount of sweets per box, I'm going to divide total of column 3 by total of column 2. And I'm going to find that there's 29.5 sweets as a mean in each box. Okay, one more example from me before I give you some questions to do. Again, the question's set up very similar. This table gives the number of pupils in different classes. Find the mean number of pupils per class. Okay, so there was 9 classes with 26 pupils. 3 classes had 28 pupils. 10 classes had 24 pupils. We're going to go ahead and add the third column. X times F, or number of pupils, times frequency to give us a title of our third column, number of pupils multiplied by frequency. Then I'm going to go ahead and fill in these values by doing some multiplications. This 150 represents that there's 150 pupils in these 6 classes. Now we need a couple of totals. The total of frequency will tell us that there is 35 classes that we are interested in, and the total of the third column will tell us that there's 897 students in total in these 35 classes. I'm going to take these two totals. Total of column 3 divided by total of column 2 is going to tell me that the mean number of pupils per class is 25.6 pupils. Okay there. Okay, now it's time for you to have a go at a few questions. So I've put a couple of questions on the screen here. Remember, at this point, you have the ability to pause the video. For each of the worded questions, I would like you to copy out and complete the frequency table and find the mean from each question. In the first question, you're finding the mean number of visits, and in the second question, you're working out the mean score from a dice. Okay, could you pause the video at this point, and then when we come back, I'll show you my worked solutions. Okay, welcome back. First of all, we're going to talk through question 1. So the table showed you the number of visits to a gym by 20 students last week. So already this 20 is telling us that the total of frequency, this value here, the total at the bottom, will have to be 20. This is what my answer looks like. So I've drawn out the first 2 columns that were given in the question. Number of visits and number of students. Then I've added a third column. You may have your title as number of visits times number of students, or number of visits times frequency. I've labeled them X and F and had a title for my third column as frequency times X. 0 times 9 is 0, 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 1 is 3. The total of my frequency, so the total number of students is 20, and the total number of gym visits is 17. So notice in this question, when we come to do the division, because we always divide total of column 3 by total of column 2, we're actually going to end up with a value less than 1. 17 divided by 20, 0.85, tells me that the mean number of gym visits is 0.85. You may have expected that because a lot of the students, 9 of the students, did not attend the gym at all. So that's certainly going to drag our mean down to quite a low mean. Okay, go back and have a look at question 2. So this time Sam rolls a tetrahedral dice 40 times. So he's rolling a dice and we have the results from that dice in the frequency table. So my second answer looks like this. Again, I've copied out the first two columns. I've created a third column. Your title for the column might be slightly different, but I've labeled X and F. You may just have score times frequency. Totaled up my frequency to get 40. Totaled up my third column to get 115. Total of column 3 divided by total of column 2 tells me that my mean is 2.875, which I've rounded to 2.88, 3 significant figures. But this is a correct answer as well. I've just rounded my answer there just for a bit of completion to the question. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of exam questions. So here's an exam question to have a go at. Again, you have the ability to pause the video. I've put on the screen that this question is worth 3 marks. So you should be showing enough working out to gain 3 marks. After you unpause the video, I'll talk you through the worked solution and where those 3 marks would be allocated. Could you pause the video now? Okay, welcome back. Let's have a little look at the worked solution. Here we go. Okay, so we're given information about marks scored by 40 students. So 13 students actually scored 0. 14 students actually scored 4. We create a third column. You may have called it mark times number of students. I've used X times F. And then I've filled in my third column by doing some multiplications. Ended up getting my 2 totals. The total of the third column was 88. The total of the second column was given in the question up here. We've got 40 students involved in this data. So to work out my mean, 88 divided by 40, which is the calculation down here, tells me that the mean mark for the students was 2.2. You can see where the marks are allocated. 1 mark for your third column, 1 mark for your total of 88, and then your final mark for your division and answer. One more question to have a go at, and it is another exam question. Could you again pause the video at this point, copy and complete the exam question, and then I will talk you through my worked solution. Okay, so this time the frequency table shows you information of how many matches were contained in 50 boxes. So again, the question is telling us what the total of frequency will be. We're dealing with 50 boxes. The worked solution looks like this. So again, I've highlighted 50 boxes. So already I know that the total of frequency is 50. This little symbol here just means sum of. So sum of the frequencies is 50. Total of the frequencies is 50. I've created my third column and went ahead and done some multiplications. And then I've got my sum of my total of X times F, which is giving me 2,371. So there's 2,371 matches altogether contained in 50 match boxes. In order to work out the mean, we divide total of column 3 by total of column 2, which I've done here, to get my answer of 47.42 matches. So that is the mean amount of matches in a single box. You can see where I've allocated the 3 marks this time. First mark for adding and completing the third column. Second mark for having your correct totals and setting them up as a division. And then finally, your answer mark. Very well done there. If you've been able to answer both of those exam questions confidently and correctly, you've shown a very good understanding of finding the mean from a frequency table.